think it is because it says session 2.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, ready? Ready?
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Agile effort estimation techniques. Oh my God, what is this? So, see, reporting.
So now we need to do maths.
Yes. No, math. Why math? What math?
Yeah, that would be more the marketing side because that deals with more analytical numbers and everything
You love numbers.
in marketing.
You love marketing or love numbers.
I'm not a maths man. If that's what you're trying to say, I'm not a maths man. But I'm a maths man.
No, just to enjoy. To enjoy. Shit, this is using the right mic. Yes. There we go. Okay guys, so shall we start? Let's go. So agile effort estimation. The problem in agile, mainly, we can't see. And this is a major cost component of the whole story that we can't see. Because if you can't see, you waste time. Because literally you are on the wrong direction. And when you discover that you are in the wrong direction, everything you spent wasted. Yeah? That's why when we estimate here, it's not like building a house, like per meter or per kilo or per ton or per hour. We can't know how many hours because we don't know what we are doing. We are going to do. So traditional approaches cannot be used here. So we are using something called story points. So story points, it means here story, and we burn the points. Yeah, that's why you talk about numbers, yes. Yeah, so we translate stories into points. What does mean stories? So when I ask the customer, I don't ask the customer, what do you want? I ask the customer, how do you want to live your life? How do you want to experience after having the product? So he is or she is telling me stories. Based on the stories, I define the tasks I need to do. Okay, so he does not tell me the tasks I need to do. He's telling me stories and I make it into tasks. Make sense? All counts. Excellent. So story points are a unit of measure used in agile project management. It's really clever because it helps you to estimate the effort, complexity, and size of the task. So 3 components to give a score to the story. The first component is the level of effort I'm going to do. But this alone does not make sense. The second, which I believe are most important, complexity. If it's a clear story, I know how to do that, definitely I can do it the first time. Complexity will be low, just number of hours, that's it. The third factor is the size. If you want to have 1 burger sandwich meal, is very different from asking me to have 1,000. It's not multiplication. So 1 burger takes 5 minutes, 1,000 takes 1,000 minutes. It does not work like this because we have complexity ratios. So the more you produce, the more mistakes, the more problem, and anxiety, stress, a lot of things. Have only 2 hands. Having more people with me, so much stress, you know. So we have 3 levels. There is no equation here, but some organizations just multiply. So I multiply effort by complexity by size. The point in itself does not make any sense, but it's just a way to assess the cost. So when I say 1,000 points in this company, 1.1 pound. So from their experience, 1,000 points, it means 1,000 pounds. So So point does not mean number of hours alone, means number of expected hours plus the level of complexity plus the size of the work. The bigger the size, the more challenge. Complexity, I mean clarity of the needs. Make sense? Yeah. Every organization has its own equation. Some organizations say percentage, 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 and multiply. Some organization add, and then multiply. PMI does not prescribe a certain way. Just you need to know, we estimate the time and the cost per point. Make sense? So unlike traditional methods that might use hours or days to estimate the amount of work, our problem literally is not about the size of the work. Our main problem that we don't know what we are doing. So I'm expecting that I'm going to repeat the work several times to get a result. How many times to repeat? I don't know. Okay, the level of clarity is important factor to estimate the time. So story points. Relative estimation, it's not fixed. It does not have the same meaning in all companies. Every company has its own points. And by the way, it's very important to know that it does not have the same meaning in different companies, but it must have the same meaning in one company. Higher point, it means higher work. Lower point, it means lower work. So when I assign tasks, you remember, somebody take 20 points, somebody take 5 points. Is it fair? See? So now we need to understand this kind of things. So number of points represent number of effort. So you need to have people have a little bit of equivalent number of points. Story points provide a way to express complexity and effort of a task relative to other tasks. This method helps avoid pitfall of absolute time estimates. So we don't use time, say 6 hours, 7 hours, we use points. Consistency across teams. Everybody in this company should have the same meaning to the point. Do you have any idea how to make this happen? How to make everybody understand the point as the same way?
Create the company culture.
This is a big thing. Culture is a very big thing. It's good answer, but 50 points for me. You understand it's 50. Is it big or
Create
small
the
now?
standard procedure. Create a standard procedure.
Simplify.
Involve everyone in the process of making. Involve everyone in the process of setting the.
Very close, yeah. So as much as we can, yes.
I was going to say, like, if, using like the principles you use in like risk management, you might have some people do that with a number scoring system and times those together of like probability and that kind of thing. And you might then have a scale. So like 5 points, you'll give an example of like 5 points equals the most complex project that we can think of, and then like give some kind of guidance for where you might draw the points from.
You're
That would
talking
be
about
the-
the scoring system. For
Yeah, the scoring
Yeah.
system. So if you can like agree a consensus
Yeah.
of what does a 3 mean, and then when you times all those things together, then you're going to get consistent points out the other end.
Yes, calibration techniques. We call it calibration process. So calibration is give some points and then ask you about the meaning, then we compare. So 50, big, high, low, big, high, low. So over the time, we have the shared understanding of the definition of 50, 60, 70. So as a norm, I take usually 40 points a week. This 40 does not make any sense to anybody outside the company, but we know 40 is like a work of a week. Okay. Planning and velocity. Story points are used to calculate team velocity. Velocity like what? Speed, no? Which is average number of story points complete per iteration. So literally, we have 5 guys. Every one of us have to burn 40 points. So usually a week work, we burn 200 points. It's like a currency you created to manage the business. So I think usually.
So it's emerging points, not.
Yes, but we
not
create it
real.
over the time so we have the meaning. So when I have a project of 2,000 points and say,
What does that mean?
usually we burn 200 points a week, I think we need 10 weeks to finish this role. This is how we calculate.
Mm.
Okay, so when you meet a client the first time, the guy who knows the pointing system very good said he does not understand this. It's not very clear. From my experience, usually you have 5-6 meetings to finish this. This is not really easy. This is completely messed up. So this will give us in total 3,000 points. So when you have a sprint here, so we know when we have it like backlog, we know 3,000 points on average. It looks like more than 10 weeks or 15 weeks. Okay, we'll take example now anyway. So team collaboration, as Jamie says, team collaboration is very important to ensure that everybody has the same understanding. Okay, during the sprint planning, the backlog grooming sessions, the team discusses each user story to task. So what we are doing here, we play a game called cards game. Cards game is very close to Delphi. What is cards game? We take a task and ask everybody to give a point. So this task, guys, this is what the customer tells us. You know, give a point, give point, give point. Everybody give a point, but don't tell me, don't talk. Write in a card and the table. Okay, then everybody write. Sometimes you write why you say this. So you say 30 points, and why do you think 30? 20 points, and why do you think 20? 50 points, why do you think 20? And then we open the cards. Put in the board 50 because, 30 because, 40 because, 20 because, 50 because. So now everybody of you has the same probably meaning. And then say, okay guys, so let's do it again. This is the exercise. So those who give 20 now give 40. Those who give 60, they give 40. And over this, everybody understand why 40 and why we have all of us 40. Make sense? So this is creating.
Equalize between
No, we don't equalize, we just share ideas. So when you write 40, you say why 40, 20, why 20, 60, why 60, 70, why 70. And instead of talking and say, you know, Murtada says, Magda says, Jamie says, and then we fight over the names and the persons, we avoid this. Nobody knows who said what, just to avoid any personal judgment. This is what we think of, and this is estimation of points, and this is why we think like that. Okay? So, comparison here, team members often use technique like planning poker. Planning poker is what I'm doing. Planning is called the planning poker. Planning poker is cards, put the estimation, why do you have this, put in the board, take from the board, put in the table, take from the table, put in the board, then do it again until everybody agree on the number of points. Yeah. Scale usage, sometimes companies use scale usage like 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes you use minimum, maximum, upper, high, low. Some companies believe in Fibonacci numbers. So when you give scores, don't give 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to use only Fibonacci number. It's just an example. Okay? Some people believe in the power of Fibonacci number. Have you ever heard about this?
No, we use it in pharmacology. We estimate dosages,
Yes.
dose escalation. Sometimes use Fibonacci sequences.
Yeah, some people believe in power of this number. It's just a sequence of numbers.
It's like barcode.
Just a sequence of number, you know.
So
Different people have different way of numbering system. Say, look, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is blah blah, 5 blah blah, you know.
Yeah,
You have just a
that's a
equation.
Fibonacci sequence. So 5 is the sum of 2 and 3. 8 is the sum of 5 plus 3.
yeah.
Sum of the previous two.
So this is to avoid giving like 10, 11 and 9. Just if you get 3 or 9 or 20, you know, so give a space, so ensure that we are close. Because somebody say 40, 41, 39, 39 and a half. This is very close. Don't be silly guys, we need to be, you know. So sometimes we use like big ranges to ensure that we have, okay, like let's say
So
60.
take a median then.
Hmm?
You take a median.
It's another story. If you want to take a median, it's another story.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we need to reach a number and everybody happy with this number.
Which
Median
one
is not the best at all. We will talk about this later. one of the reasons of having PMP
Mm.
as a science, one of the reasons of America why won the Cold War, because of this. Russian used the mean and median,
Yeah.
while American was British psychologists used another form. And this was a game changer in the Cold War. This is another story, we'll talk about this later. So mean and median is not the best answer. Okay, but all in all, what I want to cover here in brief, very simple, okay, that we have number that makes sense for us. It's rational, which is the meaning. And that is the main thing. So when I say I have 60 kilos, I understand what does mean 60 kilos. 60 points, I know what does mean 60. Usually we finish 40 points a week. 60 it means 1 week and a half. Make sense?
Yeah. You didn't? Okay.
The most important thing and the main reason why we have story points is that story points consider the complexity. It's not about how easy the workshop can be done. It's about do we understand the problem or not? So the guy says, I want blah blah. What he says, I think he does not know what he's looking for. I think we are going to do that several times, my friend. Okay, let's do it, you know? Sometimes say, this guy knows what he's talking about. That's fine, let's do it. So this kind of narrative is important because if the client knows what he's doing, what he's looking for, easy. So story points will be minimum. But if the guys say beautiful, interesting, exciting, makes sense, useful, this kind of loosey words for me is very different from you. And so when I consider it, I give higher level of complexity. Make sense?
Yeah. User friendly.
How much work is required to complete the task, and the most important, the unknowns in the story. The more unknowns, the more you give points, because you feel it is complicated. Let's take an example here. Story A, story B, and story C. Story A, change font size. Do you think high points, low points?
No points.
Low points.
Low points. Very clear. Just to change the font size. Easy. Okay? It's straightforward, so you can give 2 points. As if 2 hours. Flat rate. While this one, new payment gateway. Maybe configuration issue. Yeah? Integration issue. So high, medium, low. Medium. It could take the same time, this one, 2 hours. But because you don't know any surprises in configuration, that's why you multiply by 4 and make it 8. Yeah? So let's look at this story. Overhaul the user interface. Now you want to work on the whole user interface. Easy or complicated?
Complex.
Complicated. When you talk about the beauty, exciting, interesting, now I think I need to meet him tens of times. Add this, take this color is good, this color is bad, move this, put this. The website design itself can take 2 hours, like this, like that. So all of these 3 activities literally take 2 hours. But you make it 8 here because you expect to have 3-4 meetings until you get the right figure. And this one, you may have a lot of meetings to get the right design. Make sense?
Yes.
But it's subjective.
Very subjective. And that's why the team meeting is important to discuss the points. Because somebody say, look, from my experience last time we spent 4 times to meet a client. Somebody say, but this client is client, you know, he's nice. Some guy says, from my experience, these guys are people always that green. So this kind of debate, you know, make things clearer to them and make this number more valuable. So sometimes we call this as learning process. More than points, but also learning from each other. Sometimes even we involve the customer to put the point, because the customer can say, why do you think it is difficult? I want just easy. I want just a beautiful thing. Somebody says, I don't understand what does mean beautiful. It's very confusing to me. You know? So this conversation sometimes can be very, very constructive. So another example here. Story A, story B, story C. What do you think? Which one? Probably high points, medium points, and low points.
Low, medium, high.
Yeah, low, medium, probably high. Usually designing takes a lot of time because we are very different, very subjective. Yeah.
Especially redesigning.
Redesigning, yes, means this is bad and then something different.
You want to update your design a bit, make it look fresh. Or what is fresh?
Yeah. Attractive. Attractive to me, to myself, to my wife. So we use the technique called what? Planning hooker. Called what? Planning hooker. Called what? Planning hooker to assign the points. During the exam, what is planning hooker? You know, sometimes we confused. What is planning hooker? Step by step is not important for PMP exam at all, but just I want to make it easy for you to understand, because this slide is not important. So we have a story A. The team discussed the need to handle user input storage in database and appear display reviews in a user-friendly manner. Story B, story C. So what we are doing, we use the cards, and then we play the game. After that we have meetings, and then we set the time. Okay, already we discussed that. So once we have points, we know how many points do we have. Okay, once the client say, this is what I want, now you burn it some points. You remember, we manage points. Points, it means stories. The more you burn stories, the more closer to destination. Any effort don't burn points to the customer stories, not counted. So you spent £1,000 in the wrong destination. Have you burned any points? No. Because this does not contribute to the story. It's all about the story. Make sense?
Yep.
So it can be something really not expensive, like a fork. Remember the example? Like a fork costs you £2. But I think something completely wrong. So I put 1,000 points. Because I know it's not about fork, it's about so many things. So you give a time for experiments, and that's why we have a lot of points.
Excuse me. Like while putting points, we have to put for the whole project or for each task?
Sometimes as a contract, but to be honest, this is a little bit, general. So usually per week, per month, something like this. So this is what we call burn down chart per spread. Burn down a chart, we start with having 200 points, and when we finish something and the client say, yeah, this is what I want, it means I burn some of the stories. This is what we call burn down the chart. Let's have a look at this. What is this? So we have in total 80 points. Let's assume we have in total 80 points. Over 5 days, I need to burn all of the points. Sprint for a week. You remember week, how many days?
5 days.
Hi, you are a good man. You are a good man, you're like me, work every day. But normal people work 5 days only. Okay, so 5 days. So we usually have a chart like this and say, okay, this is what we are looking for. Burn 10, so this is 80, remember? 80 over 5 days. So how many points we should burn per day?
It's 20.
So we have 80 points in total. We need to burn 80 points over 5 days. So we have to
16.
burn per day.
About 16 or so.
16,
Or 18.
16 or 17.
18, have you?
18. Yeah, 18. Yeah, that's fine. 18. Yeah. So we burn 18 per day, like this. What if you burn more? Is it good or bad? Good. Which means you understand the client better, you address some of his point faster, you are doing very good. Then suddenly you spend 2 days doing a work and the client says, no, No, this is not relevant to me. You didn't burn anything. So now when it goes above the red, is it good or bad? Bad. Because now you have to have a lot of, you know, points you haven't burned it. By this day you have to be that level of burned points, but you still have a lot of homework to do. Make sense? This is called burn down chart. So burn down chart is a graphical representation used in agile project management, okay, to track the progress of the work. This is the estimated effort. Usually it's a flat, and this is what's the actual ones. On Excel, this is for your personal life, you know, not for PMP exam. Usually we have 500 points, and we burn, for example, just as an example, another example, okay? We burn 50 per day. So we say this is goal velocity, this is the speed we are looking for. So 50, hopefully burn 50 points a day, be 450. Burn 50 points, have 400 by day number 3. Burn 50 to be 350 by day number 4. Burn 50 to be 300. Yeah, makes sense? So this is the plan. In reality, I did the work, the client said no. I didn't like this color. So get another color. No. So you try to burn, but nothing burns with you. Because the client is not happy. So you don't burn the real work. So in reality, this is let's say remaining, in reality, 500 remaining. Actually, you burn it 35. I mean here by 35, I mean the client say yes, oh, this is to the right direction. So we burn some of your stories. Excellent. So the remaining now points to burn is 465. Next day we burn so little. We wasted a lot of time doing useless stuff because we didn't understand the client. So we found that we are 465. Bad. Sorry, 443. Bad. And then we burn again 50. Still, there is a gap. Okay? So that's why the currency of points is very important. Because this is how we estimate the time, how we estimate the work left. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah? Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's why I'm asking. I can see some guys start to sleep. That's why. So, very powerful technique. No, it's not here. So, very, I would say, very useful technique because it's visual tracking. So some companies have a screen like that and always have this in front of the guys so they can see the, you know, how many points are burned, how many work left. And many organizations connect the cards with the points. So every card have like 5 points, for example. So 2 cards means 2 points. So once somebody's taking it from doing to done, automatic on the system say, we burned these cards. Good but dangerous sometimes, because if you made it, finished it, it does not mean the client happy with it. You need to wait until the retrospective to check. So some guys use this because they want to have fresh data day by day, not bad. But take care, at the end of the week, when you meet the client say, no, I don't want all of this. So indeed, you have to reburn them again because they are not permanent. Make sense?
To put them back again. And
Yeah, to reburn them because literally what you produce during the week, nothing.
Like trick candle, basically.
Yes, yes.
Think it goes out, comes back up.
chicken, yeah, before burning.
And that's why I love the word burning, and it's not my word anyway, it's a PMP word or agile word, you know. So you think you burn it, then this point, but in reality you haven't burned anything because the client say, no, this is not what I'm looking for. So again, build up again, points to burn again.
Who's responsible for the costs?
Usually,
Cost of,
usually George, this is Barbara's question when you left. She asked me about something like that. Usually, tricky people, very smart, they charge per hour. I don't care about points. So sometimes, unfortunately, agile teams deliberately don't understand to burn more hours, more billable hours. So modern, I would say, good practice is to set a deadline for your project manager. Look, guys, burn as you wish. It's not my business. But by Monday, if you don't get it, I'm gonna terminate the contract. Done. Because all of this internal process, who paid for this? Maybe I'm a stupid. Why the client should pay for my stupidity? So we need to have professional contract. So by the end of month number 4, you're gonna pay and give you some budget. You can burn the cash, which is different from burning points. But at the end of the day, if you burn all of the cash, sorry, we can't continue with you. So burning cash is different from burning billable hours, is different from burning points. Burning points is internal for us to see what's going on. But burning cash is for client, burning our billable hours probably for the company. Yeah. So adjustments allows teams to make timely adjustments. So this is very internal process. If you don't burn, you don't need to talk to the client. You don't need to talk to anybody. But now you know that your heart should be beat like boom, 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 because you don't burn and the deadline is coming. So you need to work harder to burn more. So sometimes you may need to go for reprioritization. I think the client will be very unhappy. I haven't burned anything. I'm just doing a lot of work, burning nothing. So I need maybe to set repriorities, MVP, you remember, to establish, to know what I'm doing, why I'm doing everything. I'm not burning points. I'm working, burning points, 0. Working, burning points, 0. So there's absolutely something wrong. I am in the wrong direction. Make sense?
Yep.
That's why points is about customer stories, not about tasks. And this is one of concerns for people who are using cards as burning points, because cards, tasks, you define, while points, customer stories. So you think you burn the cards, but in reality we should burn
Taxes.
points, story points. Okay, so many people think, okay, the card is moved, card moved, which means I burn the points. No, you burn the cards. You know, burning points, it means the customer say, yes, you are in the right direction. You already burned some stories. Okay, so it's good to understand, not just to apply.
Yes, so it's not good to put them in the same code.
As long as you understand the weakness of what you do, that's fine. So burning cards is very good because it gives you fresh data. You don't need to wait until you meet the client, and also you check people, so you know people are finishing the work.
Yeah.
Very good. But there's assumption these cards contribute to points. If this is not true, indeed you are burning cards, not points. Okay. Motivation and transparency provide a clear and simple visual and keeps the team informed and motivated. And that's why it's very beautiful to see that I'm moving my card, now we burn some points. Moving the card, I'm burning some points. Motivational, engaging. Burn down charts are particularly useful for short iteration and essential tool in Scrum. A very good motivational tool. By the way, many companies doing that even in sales. They make sales of like a customer happy, repeated customer make points, goals. And I'm doing that with you, by the way. When you take the quiz, you can take some golds, and then if you answer the exam right from the first time, you take a lot of gold. Second time, you take fewer gold, burning points. Because when you burn a lot of points on the learning management system, it means okay, you can take the exam. You are on the right direction. Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Okay, I saw the point. I was wondering what it was on the LMS.
Ah, the gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I need to check. But
Yeah, it's
have
there.
golds.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's there. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Oh, see. So in your profile, you see how much gold you got. That's the questions. Key elements of a burn down chart. This is not important, but just to highlight. Exit chart represents the time. Sorry, exit chart represents time. Y represents the level of points. Remember?
Frequency.
So this is
over
the
time.
days, time, and this is the
Frequency.
points. Points. Burn points. Yeah. Actual line and the ideal line. Sometimes we call estimated line or actual line, which is this curve, which is this one. The straight one.
Ideal.
Just we divide 50 points, divide 5 days, 10 points per day. Fine. Actual line is this is the actual performance. So if it is up, good or bad? Good. Below, no. If it's up, it's bad. Up is bad. It means more work to do. Below is good. Okay? This can become in the exam, and people are always confused. Curve up, it means good. No. Curve up, it means bad, because more work to go. Make sense? Yeah? Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it difficult to math? Oh, very nice. Difficult?
No, this is beyond the topic, kind of, but, like for example, if you're using, I'm just asking myself, with applications, like for example, if you're using, you have a database, on Access, and, to see the performance, you're using queries. With the tables, you can easily do that with Excel or Word. Like with this graph, you can easily do that by,
So are you asking with this graph?
yeah.
Life is easier, my friend. Just say, I'm asking about this graph. I put
Yeah, I'm asking
Access,
about-
Excel,
No.
SQL. When I was young, I studied programming, and now I remember programming.
No, I'm just thinking like how can
the
just
opposite
combine.
way.
Just Excel.
It's like the opposite way of how a traditional line graph is supposed to go. Because traditional line graph mapping is
This one.
up is growth,
That's easy. 500.
and then it's just
This is 50.
it's just reversed
No,
in this
no,
situation.
I get that, but what I'm saying is that like, with raw data, with an application that has the raw
Usually,
data.
Monday they come £5 an hour, £5 a month. Just pay £5 a month.
So that means that they would have to put the information into Mondays, isn't it?
Yeah, project management software. That's why when we have next week, it will be on this Monday.com. So you can have Zoho, you can have Monday, you can.
But can you connect these?
It's
like, if you
connected
have a
automatic.
Yes,
if
you
you
can.
have a database, like
I
maybe
don't
on
understand
Access.
what do you mean by
You-
database?
Like, I can answer
Like,
the
if you
question.
have-
You can
okay.
connect it as you use
That's what I'm
Access as your
asking.
database on Excel,
Yes.
and it will display. You can.
You can connect Access
Yes,
to
yes.
Excel.
So as you add more data,
then
it-
will-
you
so that it
you
will
see it.
automatically be generating your
Yeah,
thing for you day by
dynamically.
day without you
Like
doing the
real-time data.
tables
Yeah,
every
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can. You select it as your data source.
Oh.
Access as your data source.
So the question is not about this one.
No, it's about this one, but how to do it more efficiently.
Excellent access.
Applicable. You know.
I'll see you after the class.
Don't get confidential.
Wish.
So burn down chart again. This is not important, but just to revise, ideal line is just the number of story points multiplied by number of days. Actual one, which is the remaining points. Okay. On track, which is good. Falling behind, which is bad. And adjustment, which means you need to make some adjustment to catch up. Okay. So this is from a software application. What do you think about this situation? Good or bad?
Bad.
Bad, yes. So
Too bad.
It's not
this is
moving, is it?
yes.
Yeah, it's stagnated.
Yeah, it seems very stupid guys. Spend a lot of time building
Yeah.
nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And the
not,
last
not,
minute.
not only that, it also goes up into different
Yes.
places.
They finished, and then the client said, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
So this one basically is like buying stock, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's like buying stock on the market. When it's going down, then no, it's opposite.
I think the worst day should be March 5th.
Stock market, which is stock market?
No, I'm trying to understand the chart.
Yeah, that's quite easy. This is a plan, but in reality, maybe this 2 days holiday, that's why the plan is to have,
Or too
yeah,
much.
not
Too
changing
much
it.
meeting.
Yeah, March 1st is St. David's Day in Wales, so they'd be off.
Yeah,
But it could also be that, like, knowing that the.
It's also my birthday, so
the
I'd also be
final-
off. If it's offered, of course, sometimes they do it.
It looks like, maybe they had a deadline and decided to waste all the time. Then when it was getting closer to the deadline, then they
yeah.
started working.
Panic attacks here.
Makes sense.
They're sort of like, oh wait, we actually have to do something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like actually it is like buying stock or investing in crypto, isn't it? You get some chart when dropping down.
Well,
then
crypto
it's
probably.
Yeah, when it's dropping down, then it's depression. Yeah.
Oh
So
no,
it's
but
like-
it's good.
This is
Yeah,
why-
it's good in this context if it's going
So
down.
it's going
Opposite.
down.
If it's going
Yeah.
down, yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to understand.
if you're anti-crypto and you want it to go down, that's what you want it to do. But in actuality, it is going down, but it's just taking its time going down.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
We are talking about now of homework. You have to do. So you have a lot of homework, and this is what you should finish homework. Nothing to do with investment at all. It's silent homework.
That's why I'm asking.
wrong
It's
word.
like,
Yes.
it's confused
She
now.
wants to make money. No, we have homework.
Project management, not investment.
No, we just have homework. We don't have much money.
You need to stretch your mind a bit, Become business owner and then you will understand assets.
So, this is another example. A 2-week sprint with a total of 100 story points. This is the total, 100 story points. The ideal line will start at 100 because this is the homework you have to do. Okay, on day 1 and reach 0 to day 14. So how much to burn per day?
The 14.
So you have in total
14 divided
100,
by 100.
and in total is 14. So I divide 100 by
By 14.
14. Excellent. So I know the rate now. Yeah. The actual line should show 60 points. The day number 7. So
So it's like 7.
You've just born 30 story points.
yes. Sorry about that. So you have like so this is a day number 7. The team has only completed 30 story points. Is it good or bad? Bad. Yes. Very, very, very few.
Not even
Yes.
Yeah, because that's half your time wasted doing not even half of what you're supposed to be doing.
Excellent.
They're 20 points behind, aren't
You need to fire these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it makes sense to burn down charts. Sorry. Yeah. Excellent. So again, just another example here. So this is another software. So you can see now, So literally it seems good.
But there's an assumption that you are having even story points per day.
Sorry?
There's an assumption that you're having you're going to be having even story points each day.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
yes. That's why in that one of them, 2 days flat and then go and then flat, then go for adjustment for holidays, adjustment for.
I suppose there's like a practice that you'd have to decide whether you're going to just make it an even ideal because it's fast to work out,
Yes.
or whether each sprint you're going to think, okay, so we'll do 10 points there and then another 30 in that day because that's a big day to tick off, and then you make a bespoke ideal line each time, but that's like more work to do. So this even way, it'll just give you an average.
Yes,
Yeah.
even way like this, and the point, if you feel like that, maybe you need to have value stream mapping, because maybe when you design the system, you think the system stagnate a little bit, so it means it's not in harmony enough. So the ideal one should be ideal.
Yeah.
Having box like this, and you expect that part of your plan, it means you have fats in the process. You have bottlenecks in the process.
Okay.
So hopefully, as much as you can in reality, make it flat like this. If it has some bumps, that's not bad, but it means that you know that you have some fat, some waste, or some inefficiency in the process.
Oh, okay.
Which software that is?
This one, I think Zoho, you have any application, Zoho, Monday, a lot of applications use this one. No, it's Excel. It's not. But the point is how you understand these figures. These are key now. So estimating efforts, we have a problem sometimes in unrealistic deadlines, inaccurate estimation, unclear work. All of this can be a problem. So, what if we have all those problems? We need to know what's the problem. Probably minimum viable product can help. This is the destination. So, problem here says poorly refined backlog items lead to confusion and delay. The backlog itself is confusing. Not about understanding the customer needs. So there is no need for have MVP, but literally how we write down the cards back. So, troubleshooting, workshops, the product owner and team collaborate to make stories or cards clearer. So if you take the card and you are confused, what's your task? So they are not well written. It's good to have a workshop to ensure these cards are written in a meaningful way. This is really interesting, DOR, definition of ready. And this is very, very popular for people who have ADHD. By the way, I feel people doing Agile, doing this for people who have ADHD as a treatment. What is DOR? And you have DOD. The problem with people who have ADHD, when they start doing something, they finish it, but leave something like this. They never finish to the end. And the problem is, I finish my task like that, I think I finished, and the gentleman, when he starts, he thinks it's like this. So we have a tension now, because he always see me messy, and I see him picky, you know, because I have a problem in the definition of done, and he has a problem with the definition of ready. So what is the definition of done? For somebody like me, I'm good. This activity is not finished until you have this, okay? Okay. So now I have DOD. This gentleman, he has another criteria called DOR, definition of ready. So for me, definition of done, it means done. So for him, he checked this one, definition of ready, so this is ready to the work. This has helped a lot of clashes with people who have ADHD. If you have a partner who has ADHD, you see him open the cupboards everywhere, but never close the cupboards. You know, open the table, open the books, and never return it back. You know, after reading, leave the chair out and never return the chair back. Yeah, this is very common to see these days. Everybody has ADHD. So, and people with Agile keep focus and attention, which is great. But when they have a lot of focus, they always finish, but they keep something bad, and this creates tensions and sometimes challenges. That's why sometimes we should have DOD, definition of done, to ensure that you finished your work, so somebody else gets started with definition of ready. Make sense? So what is DOD?
Definition of done.
Yes. So definition of done, establish criteria to ensure stories are ready for development. So this is another story. DOD, I'm using DOD now about the story, which is the guys who are listening to the story, before putting this in cards, please ensure these stories really clear and make it perfect. So when I take the task, when I take the card, I can understand what you want. So for example, I understand something half, and then I start to give you tasks. I don't understand. Do you think you understand? No. So what we say here, when you collect the stories, if you don't understand the whole story, don't panic, keep it later. But here what I'm talking about, the story should be clear enough so when it's converted to tasks, people can push this forward. Make sense? Sometimes we go for story splitting. Story splitting here it means the story is big, so split it into smaller stories because it's confusing. So DOD is a big concept. I'm using it here just to ensure that the story is in the backlog is clear, task is clear, so people can do the work. You can solve this problem by having workshops so people understand the cards, by having DOR on stories to ensure the stories are ready to be used, and story splitting, breaking down bigger stories to be smaller ones. Make sense? Yeah? So DOR is a set of criteria ensures the backlog items such as user stories, tasks, and features are fully prepared and actionable. So the task is ready to be used. So the guys who are writing for you the tasks ensures that tasks are well written and ready for action. Think about it, I give you a task without a clear scope. Will you be able to do this? No, that will be too difficult. So as much as we can, we need to write clear cards, clear stories. So we establish criteria for the guys who understand the requirements. When they write stories, you need to have criteria to say, yeah, this story is actionable and ready to go. If it is not ready to go, don't panic, keep it later. Let's look at the stories ready to go. Which story is ready to go? That one, go. That one, no. Later. That one, no. Okay, you remember, we only plan when we can see. So DOR, it means the story is clear enough so I can see, people can take the tasks, people can start the work. Make sense?
Yep.
So it establishes conditions that must be met for work to begin and the backlog item, preventing wasted efforts caused by unclear or incomplete requirement. DOR is quite common in the exam, by the way, especially in requirement analysis. It's very important to ensure the requirement is clear before you start. What's really confusing in the exam, because most of us believe that Agile is useful when you don't understand the requirement. Yeah, it's true. But we know we never start work until we can see, regardless Agile or not Agile. So in Agile, Agile does not mean let's do it and I don't know what I'm doing. No, Agile says the same thing. Please, if you know the story, clear, start. Clear in English means DOR, definition of ready. Ready? Yes, ready it means I can see clear. So now I can start. Not clear, keep it later in the next retrospective, hopefully to be more clarified so we can open it. Make any sense? Yeah? Make any sense?
Yeah, and so the best time is
Sorry?
the best time to do it is when backlog refinements,
Yes, with retrospective.
retrospective.
Yeah, so you finish, so now it becomes clear. When you meet the client says, that yes, that no, that yes. So you have a conversation with the client to make the stories clearer. But always we have a problem that you as a product owner think the story is clear, task is clear, but people take the job from you, feel it's not clear, I'm confused, I don't know what you want. So this is what we call you are.
You might need a spike there.
Yeah, this creates spikes. Yeah, you may need spike to make research to know why, what's going on, it's not clear enough. Or just avoid now and start something you can do. So DOR here for ensuring the requirements are clear. Okay, the item is well understood and described with sufficient details. What's really interesting, very interesting practice I'm doing these days, I'm using AI a lot. I'm writing a book on AI and project management. So I'm exploring so many AI now these days. For DOR, it's a big thing in real professional life. It's a big thing. So I tried a game with ChatGPT. Take a task from somebody, and I asked it ChatGPT, write it for a young person who has no experience as a task on agile project. Wow, fantastic! Especially if you use 01 and ask him give links to teach the person how to do the task. Give YouTube videos, real YouTube videos to do the task. So you get like all the tasks in detail, step by step, better than me because I have ADHD, so I always say you have to do that. People say I don't understand, what should I do now? You know, but ChatGPT, you can have a memory if you know this, and then tell the memory, I have this project and I'm doing that, I'm doing that, and now I'm going to give Gerardo, I'm going to give Gerardo this task. So ChatGPT knows Gerardo, knows his background, and then writes the task to fit for you, and with links from Wikipedia, from YouTube, from others, to make the task very, very clear for you. To be honest, a game changer in how you manage people.
So the ChatGPT passed the exam.
Yeah. ChatGPT is second to none.
Personalized needs work in ChatGPT. Not all things he do.
No, trust me.
Yeah.
It depends on how you put in the information, isn't it?
ChatGPT is smarter than anything in my life. I can tell you because I'm a researcher and I challenge him a lot. He's a winner, I'm a loser. ChatGPT, and it's not the free one. Yeah, the free 4.0 or 0.1 or 0.1 Pro, but 0.1 Pro is very expensive. It's $200 a month.
Wow.
Yes.
And the 0.1 is how much?
4 is bad, 4.0 is good, but you have to pay $20 a month. But this is really bad. It is good.
Yeah, but I mean, someone said, I saw a review yesterday that Claude 3.5 can actually rival 0.1, and it's still $20. Claude 3.5, but I use the $20.
Yeah, I use 0.1 demo. You can use like 50 or 60 times only a month. So I use 0.1, very nice because now it gives you a real data, facts, you know, and it makes analysis. So you talked about burn down chart, give the data, you do burn down chart and give you recommendation and analysis. Even writing a report.
It will be dynamic.
So what they say,
What's that clause?
It is indeed.
So Claude 3.5 can rival the 01, and it's $20.
Oh, that in ChatGPT.
Yeah, I used to rely
It can
on
rival
people
01
who do
ChatGPT.
proofreading, you know, writing proposals, quotations.
We tried
No, I don't need them.
Copilot.
I just, he knows what to
Copilot
do.
is ChatGPT.
Write a
It's using
quotation
OpenAI.
now, you know.
We're still using
Tenders.
it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
In split second time.
Even I heard myself.
Yeah, it's sort of similar to what I do when it comes to like fact finding or checking biases in media reporting. And I used to have like links just on my browser, but now I can use, say, Ground News, which does it all for me to say, okay, this is left wing, this is right wing, this is centrist, this is factually correct, this is wrong. And then what it does as well is that it includes the actual article link. So if you still want to go in and make 100% sure,
The name was again.
you can do that.
The name of the one.
So it takes those like tabs
Yeah.
off you.
No,
Yes,
No.
yes, yes,
process.
yes, yes. I upload a lot of the data. Even marking the students now, it can help you. Game changer. Anyway, let's go back. So key criteria for DOR is really good, and it's good to have in the task priority. So we know this is story, this task, the level of priority. Okay, dependencies are resolved, so you know this task comes after this task. This is part of the definition of clarity. So if you write in ChatGPT, write a task, ChatGPT automatic will write dependency. So the gentleman cannot do this work until somebody else does this work. So now you know you give too much work for that person. So now we need to have two tasks, not one. It's quite common for junior project manager to give vague tasks, which is, I have to do that, but to do this, I need these resources. I don't have access to the resources, so I'm stuck. I cannot do anything. Access to resources means like password, username, emails, account, something like that. Not only resources that they use. Yeah. So DOR definition of ready is quite popular to see in the exam, especially in understanding the requirements. During sprint planning, the team identified that several backlogs items are missing acceptance criteria. What should the team do? Literally check the definition of readiness. So definition of ready. How does the definition of ready improve the team efficiency in Agile? Backlog to be clear. At least the activities we are going to do now. Who is responsible for ensuring backlog item? The product owner. We will talk about the product owner in detail more. The product owner is the one who understands the product so much. DOR, definition of ready, is a checklist or set of conditions that story must pass to call it ready to action. Some companies have very good conditions, some companies don't have, but trust me, ChatGPT is the best to guide here, to ask here. Ask ChatGPT, for my company, with this lessons learned, with this my mistakes, with this my life, please, could you tell me what is a checklist for my DOR for my company to avoid previous mistakes? It's very good to have the ChatGPT as your best friend. Very, very funny. I don't want to waste your time. I was hiring somebody and I asked ChatGPT to attend with me the interview. So I had it and the ChatGPT attends the interview with me. And then I asked the ChatGPT, what do you think? He gave me some advice and I told him my concerns. In a few days, the guy come. A lot of things ChatGPT expected happen in the first meeting. ChatGPT told me, yeah, see, I told you. I said, yes, that's fine. So what shall we do next? And then I keep working with him until the ChatGPT fired the guy.
Oh.
Yeah, and I fired him.
I'm so surprised on someone's face.
And I fired him, to be honest. And to be honest, I was looking to fire, but I need some assistant, This is a very strong decision. But
Yeah, you need
ChatGPT,
justification.
yeah, very strong, because I see so many bad things. ChatGPT told me from the first day, take care that. Affect my perception, to be honest. And so suddenly, what's really funny, somebody wrote the name of the guy on a ChatGPT, and this is really disaster. ChatGPT say this person was working for Anger company. I was consultant doing that, and he has these issues and the problems, and Anger fired him.
Wow.
This is really. So this is very dangerous. This is very, very
How did
dangerous.
he have access to that information?
Because I'm talking to him, I'm asking him to help me.
Because
ChatGPT.
Because
Yeah, so that
ChatGPT
means that
stores
it's
the
available.
information in order to improve efficiency in answering
God.
questions or
If you
increase
apply
data.
this to me,
Yeah.
And
So I
So
think
it-
there's
it's
some, whatever
continuous
information that you're
improvement.
putting in is
Now-
also helping other people, isn't it?
I'm not really sure because I'm using my same ChatGPT or not. I
Yeah.
haven't tried by other application. Maybe other account.
ChatGPT.
I just wanted to mention
It's
something.
It's probable that the previous employer also
How
used
this is rich,
ChatGPT. So
Ah,
probably
that's
have
why.
the information,
Ah.
yes, and then
Yeah,
I-
it's not. So the information that you put in,
Yeah.
it uses to learn.
keep it
So it's is a helpful tool, but you do have to be careful about the information that you put in there, because you especially from like a data breach point of view,
Exactly.
you're putting in client information here that you're not able to share publicly,
Do you know?
but you're putting it into a public database.
They say,
And it was used it for someone else, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your
But I want to mention the
this data is
benefits.
now owned by somebody else,
Yeah.
even
Stop
if it
using
doesn't
it.
ever come up
Yeah.
for somebody else.
No, never. No.
I want to
You're
mention
giving
it
away
for now.
trade secrets. I have a friend who's she's a solicitor, works on contracts and data, and this is her area, and she's very skeptical about putting information into ChatGPT.
Do you know what you can do? Ask GPT what does it know about you and type it name.
Yeah, very good by the way.
It'll give you
Oh.
details.
I believe in ChatGPT so much, to be honest.
I want to mention the benefits of what happened to you, because you can use it for marketing. It's
Yeah.
actually an SEO hack,
You can also
So-
put good information in, isn't
Yeah, so if you chat about your brand and what people should know, because everyone literally uses ChatGPT now, and so someone just randomly found my company on ChatGPT because I use it a lot, and the person was shocked. It recommended my company as a top 3 in a particular,
See?
and that's because so it's an SEO hack which you can leverage, and to solve the problem, if that ever happens, just tell ChatGPT to forget about the incident. So you can quote the incident and tell ChatGPT to forget it, and it's going to clear it.
Ah, it's better because this guy will never get a job again.
Yeah. So once you tell ChatGPT, it's actually going to clear it from its memory.
Okay.
Effectively blacklisted because of ChatGPT.
Yeah, it was, to be honest, because he has a lot of horrible things, and I was talking to ChatGPT all the time. So the guy has a file now on the ChatGPT.
Yeah, immediately you're already concerned about your portfolio maybe rubbing someone off the wrong way, not getting hired that way. But if you get it through ChatGPT, the whole industry's gonna blacklist you.
Yes. So it's good to have some conditions from ChatGPT here. So setting condition that the user story or task must satisfy before the team commits to work on a sprint. DOR can help very good. So when you have a task, you know this task is well written, so no confusion here. Clear, complete, estimated, prioritized, dependencies identified, feasible within the sprint, acceptance criteria defined. This is a little bit important to know the criteria for DOR. Okay, so the criteria is clear, complete, estimated, so we know how many points, prioritized, dependencies identified. Never give a task without telling people what are the dependencies. Feasible within the sprint, acceptance criteria defined. Again, clear and complete, estimated, prioritized, so you know the priority, dependencies identified, feasible within the sprint, and the last one which is acceptance criteria defined.
But maybe just
Yeah.
Product owner means a customer.
maybe
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Mahalla.
It's not clear-cut answers here, but it should be yes. Somebody representing customer side, but in reality it's not. So
Is the acceptance criteria similar to the definition of done?
definition of done, it is very close, but definition of done is about the product itself.
Okay.
Definition of ready is about either task
Not,
ready
not
to go on.
definition of ready. Sorry, on the your previous slide, you've got acceptance criteria is defined as part of the criteria.
Yes,
Yeah.
acceptance. Yes.
So this one at the bottom, the acceptance criteria defined. So this is like, what does it mean for this part, this task to be finished?
Yes.
Is that similar to definition of done? Because that would be
Yes,
like,
yes,
I'm
yes.
about to hand it on to Magda so that she can carry on the next
Yes.
stage.
Definition of done.
Definition of done is similar to the definition of ready, because my definition of done, Magda's definition of
Yes,
ready.
yes, the beginning, yes.
Cool. Just checking them.
And that's why I was giving example of the
Yeah,
water
yeah, yeah.
open and the closed too.
I was just checking. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's what you give your testers, like the acceptance criteria. That's what they test by.
Okay. Yeah.
My coffee. It's good to have tea, coffee, water, you know, it's a big battle. Backlog preparation. So now we move more towards the backlog preparation. Backlog is list of what? Requirements, yes. Yeah, list of requirements. If it's not clear, it's not cars yet. If it's clear, you know, DOR, so it means, yeah, this is cars ready to take. So backlog preparation, the backlog is the ordered list of all work. Usually you put first on priority. So when you pick from the top, don't pick from the bottom, you know, easier for the guys. Because topic means most important and we work based on feature or importance. There is no need to create all of the stories for the entire project once. We can't. And that's why we are agile. If you don't have everything in from the beginning, why agile? But we need to have few things clear, few things not clear, few things very vague. So you start with the clear and then move forward. Product owners or a product owner value team might produce product roadmap to show the anticipated sequence of deliverables over time. So guys, within this month, this list of priorities, this is what we need to look for. June, we need to go for that. August, we need to look for this. Just like organizing the process. Usually it's good to have deadlines, otherwise people will waste a lot of time without burning shots, without burning shots. Yeah. So product backlog. A product backlog is a prioritized list of everything that might be needed to complete the project. Everything. Something like subscription to website. Although it's not clearly attached to your product, but you cannot do the product without this subscription. So you need to consider. So product backlog or work backlog. Product backlog, literally the stories. Work backlog, literally the tasks, the cards. So we have two backlogs. One for the stories, one for the tasks or cards. Backlog.
What's
List.
the difference?
Yeah, so stories, maybe you need to break it down into tasks. You know? So you remember we have the stories, we have tasks. Tasks is, remember, this is my task, I need to make this. Story, the client wants this to drink water. So somebody should move from stories to tasks. So you take task with DOR, remember, definition of ready. So this is task, this is priority, this time, this is effort, this points, this is the scale to do the work, this is how to do the work, this dependence.
Which of the two do you consider in your sprint?
This one, definitely.
Work backlog.
Yeah. Product is, again, this is how the product should look like, stories. But this one is a tasks. This is on Kanban. This is not on Kanban. So, a product backlog shows remaining work in the sprint backlog, is controlled by the customer, shows what has happened, is a constantly. So this is which one is correct answer.
A.
It's more likely the answer.
A.
No.
The gentleman just asked me the question now. I told him product
Someone has
backlog is
been
different.
ordered to complete the project, but not yet received from suppliers. It's a constantly evolving
The
list.
work backlog.
Yeah, A is a work backlog.
Oh, is it
This is the difference between product and work backlog.
I think C.
Then
It's evolving.
C.
C then.
It's constantly evolving.
Constantly evolving will also be work backlog.
Yeah, but it does not say it's not. Yeah, so the answer is
C.
C.
D.
C. C. B.
So in order to complete project, but not
So-
yet received.
A is work backlog. Yeah. B controlled by the customer.
Product owner.
It doesn't mean anything.
No,
The customer is not
no, it's a
product.
product owner.
It's not the same as customer.
Yeah,
Okay.
just I answered the question, and I said not that much, C shows what has been ordered to complete the project but not yet received from supplier. This is completely irrelevant to us. This is talking about suppliers management.
Constantly evolving
Yeah.
list.
But it's evolving list, yes. You
Yeah.
improve it over the time.
But I thought that was the work.
This is for both. Any backlog is evolving list. And this is what the guy is asking me. He asked me what does it mean backlog. I told him evolving list. So this is the definition of a backlog. It's evolving list. List that you improve over the time. I think it's too easy to answer, isn't it? Okay. True or false?
Pro backlog.
It's an evolving list, so it's not a
It's
false.
evolving, yeah?
Our function is already not in detail. I will not consider it necessary since the at the end of each sprint. Because the individual entities will process for that and then develop.
B for book. Yeah?
Yep. Should be.
Excellent.
Option best describes sprint review. Multiple points. Sprint and feedback.
A.
Versus the bottom team.
Team spirit.
Trick answer.
Action.
The customer is not, the client is not part of the sprint scrum team, so it's likely B. That's B.
That's C.
Sprint review, a meeting for the development team to review its processing during sprint. That's
Yes.
C.
Hey.
Hey.
Meeting to give clients and other interested parties opportunity to respect the work
Work
being
done.
done and give
Sprint.
feedback. This is retrospective. Lessons learned.
It's a review. You need
Speed.
Sprint review, not
Meeting with the product
person.
owner. Product owner is
Target
internal.
was feedback.
Okay, product owner has stand up. Yeah, he had a meeting with you. That's not bad, but literally the ultimate purpose of the end of the week meeting, I call it end of the week meeting, is to check whether you burn the points or not, and learn, improve the list. Yeah.
Scrum.
Mhm. The answer is yes, meetings, Scrum meetings.
Scrum that has all of
Yes,
that.
15 minutes. Yes, meetings.
They are called Scrum ceremonies.
Cabana is a problem, but it's not a problem.
That's what he said. If you don't, everything is kaban.
Yeah, but
That's why we just come.
it's not a problem.
If you don't know, it's say kaban. And that's it.
It's B.
D.
B.
B book.
B.
B for book.
Yeah, B is the most reasonable.
Mhm.
B is the best option.
B.
Yeah.
Yeah, B. Engage client every iteration. Yes, at the end of
Excellent,
sprint. Yes. Excellent. Mhm. By the way, these questions are from the last past exam paper. So this is very close. By the way, Agile is very important. Half of the exam. If you finish the Agile, you finish the exam.
And also very challenging.
I don't know. I just want to finish it in a day because, tomorrow we have HR, which is also represent around 30% of the exam.
Very shy, it's easier.
Either A or D.
I would say
C.
Yeah.
Mhm.
C, yeah.
C.
Yes.
Yes, B. Retrospective, don't forget, it's the key one.
Yeah, but he's already said that he wants to change.
Okay, so let's know what's going on, okay? If you remember the process, this is a product backlog. Okay, based on the product backlog, this is all the stories. Then product
Sprints.
owner or somebody break it down into tasks.
Sprint backlog.
Tasks. we start doing the task. At the end, we believe once you burn the task, yes, we should hopefully burn the points. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And in the retrospective meeting at the end of the week, at the end of sprint, we sit down with whom? With the customer. And tell the customer, look, this is what we found, this is what you have, this is what we get, this is what we need, this is what we understand, this is what we finished. Say, yeah, I think you burned this story is burned. No, I think this does not work, this does not work. And so we have this as part of retrospective. So next week, we improve our evolving list, which is called product backlog.
Yeah.
This question is about something a little bit different. You remember when I told you you do the work, you never listen?
To the client.
Yes?
Yeah,
When I do the work, I never listen
Yeah.
because I need to go for concentration. Now in the middle of the week, the client come, knock the door, I need a change. Should I listen to him?
No.
No.
Oh.
I need to finish this, please. Let's meet at the end of the week.
Ah.
In retrospective.
So I
Okay,
read
so I
it.
missed the during a
Well,
demonstration.
yeah, during the
Yes.
demonstration made me
Yes,
think it
yeah.
was the retrospective.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
me
Yeah.
So if it was the retrospective, then it would be added to the backlog again
Yes.
to now bring
In the normal day, yes, that's fine, but he is coming in the middle of the week. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you. My phone is out. Don't talk to me. Let's meet at the end of the week. Put everything in the end of the week. In the retrospective.
I missed the sequence as well
during the.
of the activities.
Yes, yes.
Sounds critical.
Don't listen to the client because you waste time to
It's hectic, you know. You are preparing food and your son say, I want to have something, I want to have something, I want to have something. Shut up, let me finish the food and then come back to you. But this is all distractions.
But he will not eat this food.
Yeah.
But it's not a danger in continuing the work if it's a critical change.
And that's why we can make the sprint just 2 days.
So you can decide if it's a critical thing to view the retrospective meeting earlier.
Yes. So we can make it, if it's a very, very, very big thing, that's fine. In this case, we can make it shorter sprints. But as long as I'm doing the work, don't distract me. And this very big mistake, by the way, people think agile, it means listening to the client while doing. That's not. When the time you listen, you cannot do. When you do, you cannot listen. Yeah, make sense?
Yes.
Mhm.
Very, very sneaky question.
Where is Ali?
Just have some.
Let's see.
Mhm.
Because it's communication.
Yeah, so the answer is C. Meeting every day morning.
Yeah, because
Guys,
it's
come on.
face to face.
Yes.
That's what I saw immediately face to face.
It's a daily meeting.
Yeah, it's an interesting point because it's only 15 minutes. If you feel that you want to sit down, it is not.
Well, it's different type of meeting.
Yeah, the aim of a stand-up meeting, micro
It's efficiency to understand what you're doing.
Efficiency, yes. Not a status meeting, not a giving feedback, not reporting, not anything. It's just in the morning, guys, come on, there's a board, what you're going to do today, I'm going to do that, I'm going
Just
to
to
do
show
that.
commitment.
10 minutes talk and then go. That's why it's called stand up, don't sit down. Sit down, you waste the day. We don't talk within the week. We don't talk.
If you sit down, you will spend more time.
Yes,
Yes.
But stand up,
stand up.
yeah.
No tea, no coffee, just take your task and do your homework. Mhm.
Hmm.
Tea.
Either A. Probably like either A or D.
D.
Because A,
D.
you got like the, you don't know what you're going into.
D, yeah, D.
Management.
D.
Yes, D.
Can we go
Yes,
with D?
that's
Come
right.
on.
I think the question is when you're going to be receiving the money.
You become very professional in agile project management. Well done. You have today 100 question exam.
No.
So let's see.
We already had this question.
I think this, yes, the same question.
Maybe the other one
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Good spot.
That's why we were here.
So when to refine, this is a question of Heno, when to refine the backlog? When the answer should be retrospective meeting. So what if the retrospective meeting is after a couple of months? This is so long and I feel the customer is not happy. So I can shrink the period a little bit and make retrospective weekly. So the point here, there is no any kind of acceptance, say what is the best time for refinement your backlog. It depends. If you feel that everything is going fine, make it bi-weekly retrospective meeting with the client. If you feel that it's like too much, is quite confusing, make it weekly. So just-in-time refinement for flow-based agile. Remember flow-based agile?
Yes.
Yes, flow-based, you decide the time based on the type of the work.
Yeah.
We have the other one called
No, that one is
iteration-based.
iteration-based.
Iteration-based, it means we have weekly meeting regardless of what you do, what's going on. Okay. So the team takes the next card of the to-do column and discuss it. Many iteration-based agile team use time boxes of 1 hour discussion midway through 2 weeks iteration. So every 2 weeks, they have 1 hour to sit down to have some retrospective. Multiple refinement discussion for iteration-based agile team is good. We talked about this already, and remember, it is very good, but the problem is to catch the customer. Because let's meet after 10 days, customer says, no, I'm on holiday, I'm gonna have another meeting. But if you say I have weekly meeting, now it is, let's say, in advance, booked for a year. So you ensure the client is have time for you. Backlog refinement meetings allows the product owners to present story ideas to the team and the team to learn about the potential. So it's good to have like in a retrospective day, backlog refinement meeting, they discuss all of the stories, the team understands the stories, the team understands the whole thing before they take the tasks. Because at the end of the day, task is a task. Make you less connected to the whole point. So it's good to have product owners talk to the guys, discuss that together and engage them. So when you take the task, you understand the whole story. If the product owner is unsure of the dependencies, and he does not know which come first, which come next, yes, product owner can request the team to Spike, in this case, to know what's going on. Remember Spike? Spike is research activity, yes, well done. Team wants to maximize the time spent doing the work as opposite to planned work. So literally what we are looking for is to build a solution more than just waste time doing any other job. If the team needs to spend more than 1 hour per week refining stories, the product owners here could be over preparing or the team may be lacking some of critical skills. So as you can see, we limit the time. Many people misunderstand the agile that we have to talk a lot, chatting, and this is what we see every day. The guy here, PMI, says only 1 hour should be every couple of weeks. It's not like half day or a meal day to go to get a meal or sandwich. No, just 1 hour. Concise and precise.
So what is the standard, 1 hour?
Yeah, we prefer this. And if you think it's take more than 1 hour per week, it means the product owner is not good, he needs some training, or people don't have sufficient critical skills. Okay, because from experience, agile sometimes can waste a lot of time in meetings. Meeting is very expensive exercise. So So product owner to conduct a backlog preparation and refinement meetings, including, for example, encourage the team to work as trades of developers, work together, testers, business analysts, all of that come together to write the story and to understand the story. Sometimes it's like a workshop, half an hour, and then ask guys, do you understand, make any kind of workshops to ensure they understand the whole story of the client. Work with the team to find the various ways to explore and write stories together. Sometimes the product owner asks people to write a story as if they are the customer. So put yourself in the customer's shoes, so be more in the process. All of this can help the team to understand the stories of the customer. So, a challenge we may have, setting the priorities, which story is more important, which is not. Literally, we should listen to the customer. He is the one or she is the one to tell us the priorities, remember. So teams sometimes struggle to prioritize tasks effectively, leading to scope creep. Oh, scope creep in Agile. Scope creep means you change the scope all of the time. Some guys believe Agile does not have anything to change your scope. No. We need to know the destination, we need to know the journey. Any deviation from the destination is wasting time. But I don't know the destination, and that's why we have story points. And that's why we have all of MVP, all of these activities, hopefully to see any sign about the destination. But Agile is not about scope creeping. Scope creeping, it means scope change all of the time. Agile is not about that. Very common mistake people used to believe in. Agile is not about that. Agile is when you cannot see, that's why you try to use signals to go. If you don't go to the right destination, it's a problem. You don't burn points. Make sense?
In that case, there cannot be scope scraping in Agile because you don't even have a scope. You don't have a certain a specified scope
Yes.
in Agile
Yes.
before you start.
Yes.
So you cannot have a script.
Yes. Yes, I agree with you. We don't have a clear scope from the beginning. That's why we have Agile. Because if you know the destination, if you know the scope, go waterfall.
Go to Agile.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes we mix up. We're having Agile in the beginning. Once we know the scope, we go waterfall. Remember hybrid?
Hybrid.
Yeah. So backlog refinement, usually regular review to update backlog to align with business priorities. So we use 2 or 3 tools to help us here. The first one is called the Moscow. Second one is called Wischief. I don't know what's Wischief. It's called what?
Which like this cheap.
Wischief.
The test first.
And we have CD3, but not that one. So the first one is called Moscow. You know Moscow? Russia? So great, it's forward, Nothing to do here, okay?
Okay,
So Moscow is must have, should have, could have, and won't have. Yeah. So I meet the client and ask him, what are the things, what are the stories that must have?
Very essential.
Hmm?
I said the most essential, the most
Most
important.
essential, yes, must have. What are should? Not must, but should. Could have, I prefer. Or won't have. No, I'm not really interested. They love Moscow a lot in the exam. Okay, Moscow a lot they love in exam. People don't understand what's Moscow,
An acronym.
Yeah, is it geography exam or PMP exam? So Moscow is must have features.
Or political metaphor.
Yes.
It's like people say Washington instead of like what's the US planning. They say, well, what is Washington doing? What's London doing? Etc. Etc.
Yes. And Moscow, what Moscow is doing. So must have, essential, non-negotiable. Okay, no compromise. Second, should have high priority. Could have, I prefer to
As
have
a rule of
distance.
thumb,
Nice.
Want to have, no,
half cover
don't
like
waste my time
60%,
here. I'm not interested.
should have like
Or
20,
Moscow.
25%.
Moscow focusing on delivering most valuable and essential feature, especially must-have. Usually we start with the must-have, and any kind of dependencies we start with, and then the must-have first. So example of Moscow. So we can have here must-have user registration and login. This is what the client believe it's must-have. Should have payment gateway should be there. Could have personalized the product recommendation on the website. Want to have, I'm not interested in AI powered chatbot. I'm not interested. Okay. See, nice to have, but can be included in the future release. I'm not interested. Moscow is very popular in the exam. Moscow. So a team is working on a mobile app, user authentication is marked as a must-have, while dark mode feature is marked as could-have. How should the team proceed with the sprint plan? We should start with the must-have. What prioritization technique uses must-have, should-have, could-have, and won't-have?
Moscow.
Moscow. Yes. A stakeholder insists on including a could-have feature in the current release, but the team is behind the schedule. How should the product owner respond? They should focus on must-have. Okay, Moscow is clear now? It is clear?
Yes.
Yes?
Must have, should have, could have, won't have.
Yeah. Everything. Yes?
There is urgency in the project.
I think project management better than marketing.
Yep.
Yeah. He attended yesterday marketing.
Yeah, he told us.
Yeah.
So project management is better, yeah?
Yeah, he said yes.
Some guys asking me to teach marketing.
Better deductive reasoning.
I love project management, it's my blood. So with shift is weighted shortest job first. I love this. Shortest. So you start with the shortest job. You want to see the result as soon as you can. Not longest, shortest. The most important, quickest task. So I start with the quickest, shortest. Not the long. I had like in my class for university, I have like probably 50 or 100 students, and I asked them, most of them engineers, when to start? To start with the most difficult job or the easiest job? Most of engineers said
Easiest.
most difficult job. They say if I
Easiest.
can finish this, I can finish anything else. Wrong answer.
Yeah.
You should start with the
philosophy. Simplest.
simplest and shortest. Quick win. Create credibility. People trust you, so you can move faster.
Get self-confident.
Get self-confidence,
Simple,
believe in
simple.
yourself. But you start with the most complicated task, everybody against you because everybody doubting you. So we start with the shortest. So WISHA is a prioritization technique used in Agile, especially in SAFe. Remember SAFe in the morning? And that's called the Agile framework. To determine the most valuable task feature. We look at the cost of delay or the value of the feature divided by the duration. So if the value of the work is £100, okay, and it takes 10 days, it means £10 per day. The higher the value, the better. Sometimes we call it COD, cost of delay. So value or delay can be used interchangeable. So you can look at it as value of the work or cost of delay. So I need to do this task or this task. Ask myself, which one I should pay more as a fine? The highest fine I should start with, yeah? Or I'm in a relaxed mood, this create value, this create value. I should start with the highest value per day. So if I'm in a pain, the highest delay cost per day. If I'm in a gain, happy, the highest value per day. Make sense?
So it's change.
It depends in situation. You are now paying fine in two places. I start with the highest cost of delay per day. Now in good, I sell products. I start with the highest value per day. Yeah. So it depends on your situation. So we go usually with the highest risk shift. Definitely, this time shortest, this number will be, when this number goes down, this goes up. And that's why we prioritize per the duration. Shortest time, higher. Higher cost, higher. Yeah, make sense? So what is risk shift?
Way shortest.
Yeah, related shortest job cost. It can be used for penalty, cost of delay, or you can use it for value. Sometimes even you use risk, so cost of delay can be used as risk. So just an example here, this is as a business value, time criticality, risk reduction, cost of delay, job and waste shift. So waste shift is cost of delay divided by job duration. Make any sense? Waste shift in the exam? Yes, in the exam, definitely in the exam. Team is prioritizing feature using waste shift. Feature X has a cost of delay 30, job duration of 10. While Y has a cost of delay 40, job duration of 20. Which one you should start with?
Yes.
Yeah, X, yes. 30 divides 10? 3. Yeah. 40 divides 20? 2. So you go for 3. Make sense? Yeah. Is it difficult, guys? Challenging? I think this is joy. Very nice.
Probably have a calculator, but I can work on that.
Yeah. In the exam, if you feel that you need to calculate something wrong. Usually 10 divided 2, something like this.
Not numbers guy.
No, it allows you to use calculator, by the way.
Maths guy.
But trust me, if you feel that you need a calculator, something wrong. They usually question 40 by 10.
Something wrong with you or with
So, what is the key factor on waste shift prioritization? Maximizing value by balancing cost of delay and yeah. Which component which includes cost of delay?
Like we should consider the shift value more rather than the shift value low, right?
Yeah, the highest value per day or highest cost of delay per day.
Okay.
Yeah. Inefficient order the backlog, so we may have a problem. Sometimes we call it CD3, cost of delay by duration. So with shift, sometimes we call it CD3, cost delay divided by duration. So CD3 is the same as with shift. Okay? Sometimes in the exam say what's CD3? It's the same as with shift. D. It's like a password.
Project managers need to define their terms. They keep using the same thing for like different names for the same concept.
Yes, with shift and the CDs and the same book, the same exam, PMV, have two names. So task A 100,000 in value, 10 days, CD3 is 10,000. Divide cost of value divided by number of days. B 50K, 2 days, 25. So I use B because B higher, CD3, waste shift. Waste shift and CD3 as the same thing.
So the value is that the cost of delay?
This is what I'm saying. If you are in pain time, which means you are in a problem, so we look at cost of delay divided by duration. If you're in good time and you create value, so you say value and value, the highest value per day. So cost of delay and value are the same thing. Pain or gain. Good time, you look at value. Bad time, you look at pain.
So whatever value you get, you divide it by the time, and the higher the value, you say that's the one.
Yes.
Okay, you won't be more tricky than that in the exam.
No. Our exam is easy, don't worry.
Okay.
We can see now exam. We finished a little bit early today, which is great. On time, chart on time, to be honest. This is what my plan. So we finished, which is great. You can have a break 10 minutes, but you have around 100 questions on the learning management system. Please answer all of them before you leave.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and tell me about your scores.
No.
So that's why I split it down into 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, because I don't want you to be overwhelmed. So each exam was only 20 questions.
Are you here for advice? For
Yeah, I'm here.
consultation?
Up to 9 p.m. I'm here.
This quiz doesn't activate.
Yeah, there's one quiz that has no
The
questions.
difference is between life cycle and we didn't activate.
Life cycle is not working. No,
Just
no,
takes you back to.
Yeah, it is not. You started from the exam Agile 1, Agile 2, Agile 3.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and go. Get a coffee. You want a coffee?
Yeah, I'll get a coffee. But
No worries.
No, that's fine.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, nice to meet you, bro.
How do you want
The celebrity in our midst. I said, look, I've tried this. I just I said, they don't know. They don't know. I need to register.